start for a few more hours, but we're here already. We are ready to be ready for the basketball game. I am Rachel Nichols. I am here with two-time New York Times best-selling author Brian Windhorst, one-time NBA champion, but you only need
Still
one.
pretty impressive.
You only need one ring.
Two-time.
Richard Jefferson.
Is pretty impressive.
Well, you retired and I'm retired. Maybe you could do that again.
This retirement's for good, for sure.
Like I like eating in my post-retirement life.
Don't even call me.
It's all good. Game 2 is indeed tonight. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock Eastern because the Jump is taking over SportsCenter.
Yes.
So come hang out with us for that. Then we will lead into NBA Countdown and then, of course, the game. And right now it is time to choose wisely, presented by Disney's Aladdin. Kyle Lowry chose to pour in 30 points. He led a furious late-game charge for the Raptors last night, but it was not enough for the Bucks as the Bucks rallied to win their first conference finals game since 2001, guys.
Ooh.
So if you look at how both these teams finished, you know that the Bucks feel good, right? They were able to come from behind and win, and that was without Giannis having a blockbuster game. He scored 24. But if you're the Raptors and you led for most of this game, and then it slipped away in the fourth quarter, do you still have a reason to feel good because you put up such a fight? How do you feel walking into game 2?
Well, I think you feel good because you just want to play good basketball, right? You can understand you can play great basketball for 2.5, 3 quarters, and then struggle for a 6-minute stretch. I'd rather be them, right, than the Portland Trailblazers, right? So
okay.
you
I feel
you want to be in that spot. So, and if you want to win a championship, you're going to have some bumps along the road. So if the Toronto Raptors are serious, they're like, hey, we did it once, we're going to have to do it again. We were going to have to do it 4 times in order to win a championship,
sure.
or to move on to the next round. So you can't get too deflated by this loss.
On the one hand, it was one of the greatest games of Brook Lopez's career.
Right.
You do not expect that to repeat if you're the Raptors. You're going to prepare for it, and he's not going to play as well. On the other hand, Kyle Lowry.
One of the best playoff games of his career.
I hate to say it, you can't waste a 30-point game from Lowry. Our Tim Reynolds from the AP dug up this stat. It's the first time in 7 years the Raptors have lost a game when 2 guys scored 30 points.
Right.
Because Kawhi put in 31, Lowry put in 30. To get that kind of scoring on the road and just the playmaking that Lowry made. Also, as I said yesterday, this was the zone that the Raptors wanted. Get it to a possession game with 5 minutes to play, and they win the half court. But they didn't win the half court. Milwaukee out-executed them, and that was without Giannis dominating.
Right.
So I am worried for the Raptors.
Interesting. And look, I want to watch Pascal Siakam too because he's been such an important part of their season, this postseason run for them. He banged his elbow in the first quarter. He told reporters afterward it went numb. Now, he said it didn't bother him too much. He expects to be fine for the next game. But he missed 14 of 20 shots. And Richard, you can tell when a guy is like kind of shying away from wanting the ball, right?
Yeah, well, I think this was a big moment. Again, this is the first time he's ever been in this type of environment, conference semis, on the road against what I believe is going to be the MVP and the leading team in the conference all year long. So, I think he'll play better. I think Pascal Siakam has taken that next step to a guy that we can expect things from him. We can't keep saying, hey, look at what he's doing. Look at what he's doing. It's like, no, we're at a spot where we can expect things from him, but he needs to play better. But Game 1 in this series especially, you don't want to overreact. You can overreact a little bit in the Golden State Trailblazers, series, but this one you just want to say, hey, this is going to be a battle. These teams are going to defend, they're going to hit shots, they're going to stop each other. This is going to be a battle, I think, for this entire series.
One of the things that the Raptors have issues with is that they get some guys play really well, and then they give them like nothing.
Right.
Like there's either a good Marc Gasol or a bad Marc Gasol. There's a good Serge Ibaka, a bad Serge Ibaka. A good Kyle Lowry, not so good Kyle Lowry. They can't afford good and bad Pascal Siakam. They need steady production from him.
And usually Kawhi's so consistent, right?
Yes.
And then he looked, did he look tired to you guys? They kind of wore out? Even the machine wears out kind of thing?
Watching down the stretch of this game, I thought the Bucks
at the end
did a great job just defending. He had no space to move. And is that because he was a little bit dead-legged? Is that because they were great on defense and took away his pet spots? A bit of both, I don't know, but he definitely, as you said, Rach, he did not have the spice down the stretch.
And those are 2 great defensive teams. Now understand this: the postseason starts, mid-April, and it goes to mid-June. You're going to play for 2 months. You're going to have a bad game.
Yeah. But it wasn't even a bad game.
But you're going to have a struggle fourth quarter.
Yes.
And he's played so great for so long and so dominant that I'm not worried about whether or not Kawhi is going to be able to, most likely to travel, if Kawhi is going to be able to, come back, if this was just one game, Kawhi's going to be fine. You're going to lose games in this series. If you move on, you're going to lose games in the NBA Finals. It's not about that. It's how you answer, how you respond. And I think Toronto's in a very, very good place to respond because they have some confidence from game one.
I will say, just because we had that clip,
yes,
the Raptors a little bit frustrated with Giannis getting away with what they believed were travels last night.
I mean,
we'll see if it's one of those things that happens in a series where they try to apply pressure to the officials. There was no commentary about it last night. Let's just wait and see.
Was there off the podium commentary?
There was.
Okay, all right. So you're saying that there was a dialogue with the league, is what you're saying?
Well, I don't know if it was with the league. Let's just say that it made it to my ears that they were not happy with some
2.5, 3 steps.
Yeah,
you're allowed 2.5, 3 steps.
The thing with Giannis last night, they really took away his spin move.
Yes.
So he went to his Euro step, which is a great, adjustment.
1-2 punch.
But it looked like to me a few times, especially in the fourth quarter, that he was getting away with it.
Did anybody else see the travel or the double dribble by Kyle Lowry? That was one of the funniest things that I'd seen in basketball, and I know we're not going to have the clip. It just dawned to me. He literally spun, picked up the ball, took another dribble, and I was like, oh yeah, they're going to call that.
And
they called it in front of the Toronto Raptor bench, and it was just like, yeah, guys are going to get away with stuff. Guys are going to have things happen. James Harden is going to do some kind of crazy step back.
Yeah.
This is a part of it. Guys have these things in their game.
What Giannis was getting away with last night, LeBron literally got away with 1,000 times.
Exactly.
So I will say that
I am also interested to watch Giannis in the next game because we saw in the Boston Celtics series, he didn't operate quite the way he expected to, and he came back and played with so much more force in game 2. And it's not exactly the same kind of performance in game 1 of this series, but I do expect him to come back and play with more force in game 2 of this series. We've not heard the last of Giannis Antetokounmpo. All right, let's talk about Joel Embiid. Coming up after this break, he is no longer weeping on Marc Gasol's shoulder. He is back on social media, baby. He's got a message for the rest of the NBA. We will discuss after this. And we have our distant replay from 2006. It's someone on this set. And it's not me or Brian.
I don't remember doing anything on the court.
I don't remember doing anything in 2006.
I remember you doing stuff in 2006.
Is it good Richard or bad Richard? That's really what we want to know if we look from the beginning.
Jefferson flying with the slam. 1 point game.
Wow, that was light. Look at that take off. Yeah, I had to
didn't want any of that.
The only reason why I come on the jump is so that you guys keep
occasionally you can put these in.